is this idea that we need to be egoless is absolute bullshit. And I'm
Nope.
going to tell you right now, because we can't be as good as we are without an ego.
Right.
Unbridled ego is what you need to put that word unbridled in there.
Arrogance. Now we're talking about.
Ego gets you to.
I was there too.
Yeah, we all were.
Ego gets you through the door in a lot of
Well, it has
places.
to.
Ego gets you to a level of competence, right? Hubris is what we're talking about.
Right.
Yeah.
And the problem with it is that people want to throw the word ego. Oh, I'm not ego. I don't have this ego. And again, words mean things to me. So I see somebody's like, oh, I'm not. I don't have an ego. And then I see them. I see their ego show.
Oh, call me Grandmaster.
Well, I'm not even going down that. I'm just talking about their ego showing in some form or fashion.
Right.
I thought you were egoless. But again,
Not to put them down.
no.
Right.
But then again, if I know them well enough, I know that mechanic, the mechanics of that. It's like, okay, I know they're not. I know what their intent and the meaning is, but their point's different.
Right.
But I want to be clear about this: is that and at 57, I'm done with this bullshit. We all have egos. Unbridled hubris is something that you just need to leave at the door.
Right.
But bring an ego in, because it goes back to what I tell my coaching clients. If you don't believe in yourself, then why the fuck should I?
Right.
But what is that?
Ego.
So when you're on the mat, when I'm on the mat doing what I share, I think that's what you see. Because I will not show you something on that mat unless I believe that it's effective.
Right.
Whether I execute it properly or the way it was taught to me, the concept, the idea, I believe it's effective, and I'm going to execute it in the best manner that I can and show you that, so that way you can take that in and make your own pie. Go back to your earlier reference.
One of the things that Danny has always talked about, and we had a thing about it, is one of the things that he always says about what you were just saying, in that if you don't believe it, you're going to fail.
Absolutely. That's anything in life.
Believe and you'll succeed.
Yeah.
And
You may not get to the success you think you're going to get to, but you will succeed.
Right.
yeah.
Like, as long as you don't have concrete expectations.
Yeah. Well, no, that's a very good point. But that's a very good point. Is, and this is what people don't understand about success. I spent 40 years studying success. I was both formally and informally. I've read about special ops teams, special football, sports teams. The successful mind. And here's two things that I can boil down to. And by no means do I claim to be an expert in this. I never claim to be an expert in anything.
He definitely knows a lot more shit than we do.
Well, I appreciate that. I should, hopefully, after 40 years of this shit. But here's what I understood. One, success is often mistaken for perceived goals.
Right.
Huh.
So I'm 300 pounds. I want to get down to 200, right? I get down to 250. Did I fail?
Nope.
No.
But my perceived goal is I failed because I didn't get down, right?
Right.
So people more often than not get stuck in this concept of I failed. I got to tell you, if you guys really want to get a handle on this stuff, YouTube David Goggins, listen to his talks. That guy is spot fucking on.
And if you don't get it, talk to him first so he can explain it to you.
Thank you.
But bring $300.
$350.
This is for you guys $299. but the point I'm making is people
And the pun set.
And the pun set.
Yeah, no pun said 305. I gotta go buy my own. Gotta Uber that shit, Grubhub. But the point I'm making is that people get this idea, right, about success.
Yeah.
And here's the sad part about that is when I coach people in successful behavior, they say, well, how do I become successful? I said, by being successful.
Right.
And they're like, what does that mean? I said, simple. I said, what's your goal? My goal is X. All right? And we're going to do all these Y's to get to X, right? So is Y plus 1 a success? Well, yeah. Is Y plus 2? I said, yeah. Is Y plus 3? I said, well, yeah. So why don't you start with Y plus 1 and honor that success? And they're like, well, I'm nowhere near my goal. I said, but you're closer to it, right? Now, we've all heard this, right?
Yes.
Right.
But
Baby
to
steps.
put it in, I call it the inchworm technique, but yeah. But to put it in context, it's like, if you don't honor each of your successes, you're never going to get to the end goal.
Of course.
You know why? What's the biggest motivator? What's the best and biggest motivator?
That you get there.
You're
That
successful.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's your success.
Success is the best motivator. I lost 4 pounds. I'm celebrating that shit.
Hell yeah.
And if I end up putting more weight on after this weekend because the stuff we're doing, Then I refocus, and if I lose that weight again, I celebrate
That's a
that.
success.
We don't celebrate the small successes.
I-
And well, here's the thing. This is where this is where I have to say
Yeah.
I'm adamant about the ranking structure in a lot of traditional martial arts.
Ooh.
But
Yeah.
I like that part of it because we as Westerners have a certain construct in the way we think. We talked about this in the last interview. Because we've been taught through the education system that there's a certain way you should approach how you do things. And knowing that, and you go and get a tip on your white belt, and then you get a yellow belt and you get a couple, 2 or 3 tips, you celebrate those successes. Problem is, we've been conditioned, particularly over the last 25, 30 years, I don't know where the paradigm, I think it was the early 80s, the paradigm shift when we stop celebrating the successes and saying, it's not enough. I got 2 tips, I need 3. I got 3 tips, I need the next right.
Then it's dangerous.
Then it becomes counterproductive.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's dangerous.
I remember the one time Green
Glass
and I,
half full
yeah,
kind of thing.
I remember the one time Green and I were playing, and I was feeling a little froggy, so we started playing, boom, 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 and pop, 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 and all of a sudden pop, and I caught him in the chest with the stick. He backed up a little, goes, all right. He says, you're learning well. I said, well, good. I celebrated that for a week. Well, here's the thing.
As he limped away.
Well, you cracked me in the jaw too. So but
Just like him.
That sounds.
yeah. But here's the thing. It's like, not only did I celebrate it, but he celebrated it.
Right.
That's beautiful.
That is beautiful.
That is, yeah.
That is the perfect statement for that point, because if I, as a person who's sharing, if I, as a coach, if I, as a teacher, if I, whatever the hell I am to somebody,
Right.
if I don't celebrate that with you, what does that do to the student?
Yeah.
Puts him down.
He doesn't care about me.
It doesn't,
It doesn't do
make
it.
the success
Yeah.
worth anything. So that y plus 1
Well, it
becomes
doesn't-
y plus 0.
It's not real.
It's not real.
Yeah.
So,
Well, you
and again-
remember when we gave him his black belt?
Yeah.
Yeah, I said no.
Me and Danny were joking, and we were just kidding.
Yeah.
You know? He actually deserved it. I mean, that's one of those things that Danny and I argued about that.
Yeah.
You know,
I remember you talking
You know,
about it.
and I want people to understand that it wasn't that we didn't want him to have it. You know, for us, belts don't mean what it does to everybody else.
Right.
That is not our level of ranking. That is not what we use.
It becomes a way
As a
to
yardstick.
feed that super ego.
Yeah,
Right.
and we don't like to do that. you
So
know.
why did I love this part, because you and I had this conversation a couple times. Why did you give him the belt?
Believe it or not, economics. We understood, and when I talked to
Did you check clear? Just-
no, no, think about
I
this, right?
finally got my citizenship.
Yeah,
We celebrated with the belt.
and I'm glad you're asking this because this is important for me to say, so people don't think that we just gave him a belt to give him the belt. He earned that outright.
yeah.
When he talked to everybody in front of everybody, you all knew this man knew what he was talking about.
Yeah.
He's able to do the things that he says, all of that.
You know, even right now, it still feels a little awkward for you to be saying all this.
I know. It really is. But we gave that because we also understood that after 7 years, almost 8 years now with us, if he went out to try to teach under somebody or teach for somebody, whatever else, the first thing they will ask for, what belt are you?
Yeah.
You know, what's your credibility? What's blah, blah, blah.
It's the coin of the realm.
Yeah.
And that's all.
And without that, he couldn't go anywhere
No.
with all that knowledge. So that's why we said no. It's not fair to him because we don't care about the belts.
Right.
But being as young as he is, and he could go somewhere, and do his own thing. But without that little paper that says he's this, it would have been all for nothing. And I would never want to be the guy who took up the 7-8 years.
That's the explanation that got me to say, okay, I'll do it.
Right.
It wasn't,
okay, that makes
it wasn't
sense.
because we like belts. I mean, we just think belts, and I'm sorry if this hurts a lot of you people out there, because to me, a belt is something that holds your pants up.
Yeah.
It really is. It isn't about, and what is it? It's prestige.
Right.
That means I'm better than the people below me.
Right.
We don't think that way.
And that's why I always go with the
I think
moniker.
it's become that, though.
Yeah.
It wasn't always that.
Well, for me, it had been. Me and Danny.
Well,
was
when we talked about this coming up in the
Yeah.
what we did, this is why I always say I'm just a guy with a black belt. I mean, I hold rank, and I'm chief instructor under Grandmaster Green. When I went under Bob Gomez, and I fell under the golden school of Golden Dragon School of Karate. The leadership of them, Grandmaster Bill Gifford and Grandmaster Bill Sills, felt it appropriate to give my third degree Sifu ship.
Right.
Yeah, so I'm a Sifu now.
Really?
Kempo. That happened months ago, but see, did you guys?
No, you didn't.
And I like you guys.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
Hey, you were talking about celebrating those successes, man. I just
Well,
give you a round of applause.
here's
I'd give you a standing ovation, but my head would get out of camera, so I'm not going to do it.
and I appreciate that. But you bring up a good point. It's like,
I could stand up, but it'll still be in the place. I'm
right.
sure.
So you bring up a good point because my question is, well, why didn't I celebrate that? To the point I was making earlier, and I did in my own way, and that's not hyperbole because I don't know what I'm going to do with it.
Yeah.
So I'm appreciative that they recognize
Right.
my years of training and my ability because they saw me up and what are you laughing about?
Ask him where he put his belt.
It's probably in the closet, right?
It's behind my TV.
Yeah.
I haven't moved it since.
Well, again, and no disrespect to those who hold rank.
And it's
But again, it goes back to that tribal mentality we talked about, where I'm no longer. And here's the irony of the universe. I got to tell you, and I found my wife in the same manner, and God bless, because she's been the best thing that ever happened to me.
You found your wife, or did she pick you up from a gutter?
The details are not.
they're not relevant to this conversation.
Look, the point is,
So
We met.
So when I stopped wanting to be a part of that, because there's that ego part.
of course.
Everybody, you get your black belt and you want to become, and whether I wanted the title of Sifu and be able to teach and open my own dojo and all that stuff. At some point, whether I wanted that now or before, I wanted it before, and that was still a driver.
Right.
And here's the irony of it all, because this came out of freaking nowhere.
you stopped looking for it.
I stopped caring. This is COVID stuff, right?
Yeah.
So, just for the record, Bob Gomez and we talked about, coming underneath him. And Kaji Kip was very political. And I didn't want to, it didn't, and Bobby, forgive me, but it didn't mean enough for me to go through the whole process of going to my grandmaster, my teacher, ask permission to leave his dojo to go to Bob's dojo and some other stuff.
Wait, you guys have to ask permission?
Yeah, we do.
You're supposed
That's convention.
Yeah.
So, but to me, So to me, it didn't. It wasn't. I wasn't going to do anything with my God together, right? Because my focus has been Harry stuff and Grandmaster Green stuff, and that I just figured I'll just do that going forward because
He says call him Harry.
yeah.
So.
Well, you can.
Really?
Well,
He's still under his student.
I'm still a student in this setting. I will call him Grandmaster.
Right.
That's true.
100%.
So
He might rock your jaw.
Again.
exactly. So when that came about, Bob and I had conversations while I was at his school, sharing with him and the boys and the girls. And he says, "Well, come train with me." And I said, "He goes, but Bob was like, you have to have a conversation with Grandmaster Ron." I said, "Bob, that's not going to happen." I said, because one, I have nothing against Grandmaster Ron Esteller. I appreciate him and what he's done for me and my family over the years. And me, if I wanted to go train with, and this is where Denny kind of pisses off everybody. If I wanted to train at Bob's school, I never felt I needed to get permission. So I'm like, to me, that doesn't mean anything to me.
That's baffling to me, the idea that you piss people off.
Oh, dude, you don't know. For everybody you think likes me,
Yeah.
I got 2 to 3 times the people who do not.
Oh, I
like
don't
me.
care. I
No,
judge
I'm
you
just
based
saying.
on
No,
how
I
you are
appreciate
with
that.
me. So
But no,
I
trust
can't.
me. There's a lot of folks out there. I hear whispers a lot. But
Really?
Point I'm making.
who are they?
No,
Yeah,
that's
well,
irrelevant. See, that's them being them. I'm here being me.
Oh no, we just want to train.
So,
Right? That's all it is. It really is like any excuse to be like, oh, well, fuck it, let's go. Just like Mike Smith was talking earlier about
okay,
going
we're done
to.
with your alcohol.
Oh,
He's like, fuck it, I'll take one out.
Come on.
But so Bob and I were talking about that. I said, Bobby, I said I'll play with you guys. I don't care because play is play.
Right.
Well,
Sharing versus teaching.
Right. Exactly, and that's why I don't teach. I share. Because there's a whole. When we talked about it in the last episode, there's a whole thought process that goes with teaching versus
The
sharing.
language that goes with it.
And the expectation. So Bob took it upon himself to talk to Grandmaster Ron Anadowdy and share with him that we were having this conversation, and nothing negative. Bob just we've had the conversation, we talked about it, and Bob felt it was the right thing to do. Now, whether you agree with that or not,
Yeah.
I appreciate the fact that felt not just with me, but there was other students as well.
Oh, I admire that.
Yeah, to do that. I'm like, okay, well, thank you for doing that. No,
Gunnis has always been a stand-up guy.
He always has been, from that perspective.
I was going to use the very same verbiage.
So he did that, and then he let us know he did that.
Yeah.
Then I got COVID in January this year and started a new job and so forth, and I realized, oh shit, I didn't talk to Grandmaster Ron about this. So, but he was silent. No. He was silent, and I respect his silence, right? I mean, 'cause I don't know what's going on. So I reached out to him through Messenger because that's a neutral way, and I think had a nice conversation about what happened, and he gave his blessing to Bob and extended to in the conversation, he basically just said, I understand, and I told him, I haven't felt part of EMA for a long time, and maybe it's better that I'm there. And that's where it sits. Now, I share that story with you because it's important to understand that as we go through this martial arts journey,
right,
you have to kind of have an idea of who you are. Are you the person of depth, or are you that what I call the jackrabbit, who I've always been? It's like I'm over here, I'm over here, I'm over here, I'm over here, and I'm grabbing what I can. I'm an aggregator. People friends of mine call me Danny Google. I'll go over here and play with you guys for a while, then I'll take what you do and I'll take it over here. And but I give you guys credit for it. And,
right, and he's not the linchpin.
Yeah.
No, he's not.
So no, I'm a conde. So
he's that guy.
Yeah. But the point
that guy, right?
Well, here's the thing, though.
The dude.
The dude.
So the dude obliges. So the point I'm making is, go ahead with some references. I don't know the sci-fi stuff.
I know the movie. Okay,
so here's the point I want to make. 'Cause I know you're checking time, and I don't want to go too long.
No, we're going to go past.
No, it doesn't matter.
That's just a guideline.
So here's the point I want to make with that is this: we need the traditionalists.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, that's important.
That's never going to go away.
No.
And God bless you for being there. No, because if you want to put it into a hierarchy, everything stems from the traditionalists.
Yes.
Okay. That
We're
being
not them.
no, but that being said, and I, in a personal viewpoint, blame, and it is a blame because I'm not a fan of it. I blame MMA for the breaking or for the awakening of that mindset of I don't need to spend 20 years in Kempo, Kaji Kempo, Kosho-ryu, Aikido, Judo, Jiu-Jitsu to have a level of efficacy, right?
Right.
So as I look through that in the last couple of years as I was going through my path, I realized that I never wanted to be that depth. I thought I did, the perception part, right? The dream. I thought I did. Remember the disconnect, right?
Yeah.
So this is where we come into alignment now. I thought I did because that's all I knew.
Right.
But and I know you and I have talked a lot, and I think I shared this with you, my number one goal from the time I stepped onto a guy's garage in Fremont when I was 15 years old to take karate was, I want to learn to defend myself. That's it.
And that was it.
The art was secondary. And so this is where I'm in.
Y plus 1.
Y plus 1 plus 2 plus 3. This is where we are.
That's cool. And let's move on from martial arts because I think we've, this show started out about martial arts.
Yeah.
I mean, the Kali conversation, even the name Kali.
Wait, this conversation was martial arts to you?
No.
To me, this had
This conversation.
less to do with martial arts. Martial arts was the vehicle by which we explored.
But that's what this show has become, isn't it? It's not really about martial arts per se.
You have to have a reason to come together.
Yeah.
This is it.
This was it. And then the conversations go all over the map. I mean, we talk about a bunch of stuff, but don't go anywhere in any particular,
But it all matters.
So I know where you're going with this. So I will say this to you both because I like you and I respect you. I love you both. You guys are really good people.
Appreciate it.
I'm a very private person. I'll tell you, I'll say a lot, and I won't say shit at all.
Oh, God damn it.
But-
I know there was something I was going to ask you.
Here's your chance. Ask me whatever you want to ask me, and I'll be as honest as I can in front of the camera.
One of the things that I've always admired about you, and I say admired because you're one of the few people that I can actually talk to about anything. And I can do that with this kid because, he's become a confidant of sorts to me, and where I can tell him about a bunch of stuff.
Of sorts.
Dude,
It's like your
So
diary.
real quick, I got to do this. We call him the kid. It's a term of endearment. How old are you?
35.
I tell you, when you sit and talk
Oh,
with
shit.
this man,
36. My
36,
birthday
yeah,
was
right.
just, yeah.
when you sit and talk with this young man, you think you're talking to somebody in their 50s. He just has a
Very
depth
intellectual.
about him. So
He
I
reads
honestly think that I just have like the mind of a dirty old man.
it. There you go.
And every once in a while, I say something that kind of sounds profound.
that's the once in a while we focus on.
He has a
Exactly, right?
thesaurus.
Those are the things that kind of stick out.
He pulls out a thesaurus every once in a while, just so she can come out with a big
Told
word.
you, dude. It's
The toilet
word of
paper.
the day. Toilet paper. Yeah, that's what it is.
But no, I've always admired you in that no matter how bad, because I've seen it myself, where you see things that people are doing and it just pisses you the hell off, but yet you still try to sit there and nudge away and take away the negatives and try to stay so goddamn positive that I almost want to slap you. You know, I mean, bless your heart for trying to keep everything on even keel all the time, because I've never seen you angry in any form of the word.
Oh, that's a scary thought. Can you imagine him angry?
Well, that's what I'm saying. You never see it,
Huh.
even though people say negative things, even around you. You take that and you say, no, look at it this way.
Yeah, see,
even when I tell you about bad
that
things, you
pisses
say,
me
no,
off.
Rick, why do you say that? It should be, and you constantly barrage me with stuff like that. And I appreciate that. I want you to know that I really do it. And I take a lot of that to heart, and it does change me. And makes me
Listen to a lot of people.
I don't. I
So
really
him
don't.
listening to